This is the story of how I went from being unmotivated to finishing my first marathon. It took me 3 years to do it. It was hard, but not impossible. So if you're struggling right now, don't worry. You can get there too. It all started when I was in college. Back then, I didn't really like running. The only time I would ever run was when I was playing soccer, and that wasn't much because I was always benched. I just wanted to hang out with my friends, party, and watch Netflix. The only type of training I was doing back then was in the gym. I had been going there since I was a junior in high school. At first it was to put on muscle mass, but then I quickly realized that I liked solving problems with my body. You know, testing my limits. That led me to compete in powerlifting meets and even getting ranked, no, one in the nation at one point. But after competing for 3 years, something happened. I got burned out. My passion for lifting was gone and I stopped going to the gym altogether. Fast forward a year later, I was miserable. I was barely passing my classes. I would go out with my friends once in a while, but most days I would just stay inside and watch TV. One day I saw a commercial about the Marine Corps, and I remember thinking to myself, damn, maybe I should join the Marines. But the next day I woke up and thought, nah, I want to be a civilian. That sounds pretty boring. A few weeks passed and I still felt unmotivated and depressed, so I decided to take some time off and travel around Asia. I figured maybe a change of scenery will help, but it didn't. In fact, it made things worse because I was traveling by myself, and I could feel everyone staring at me as I walked past them because I was so fat. One day when I was walking through Seoul, South Korea, I came across a big park. There were tons of people running and doing other types of workouts, so I thought, maybe I should exercise. And right there and then, I did the dumbest thing I've ever done. I signed up for a 10K race 2 weeks later. I knew I wasn't fit and I only had 2 weeks to train. I thought to myself, shit, I better not drop down dead during the race. On the day of the race, I remember thinking to myself, what the hell am I doing? This is gonna be awful. But once I got going, it wasn't that bad. I ended up finishing the race and feeling great afterward. After that day, I continued working out consistently for the first time in years. I was addicted to that runner's high. When I came back home, I started running every day. I would go out with my friends once in a while, but most days I would just stay inside and watch TV. One day when I was watching TV, I saw an ad about a 50,000 ultramarathon. The commercial showed these fit people running on beautiful trails in nature. They looked so happy. I thought to myself, wow, that looks amazing. I want to do that. So I started training for the race. One day, I was running along the Hudson River, and I saw this massive group of runners crossing the George Washington Bridge. I couldn't see the end of the line. I remember thinking to myself, wow, they're running so far away from home for a race. These must be real hardcore runners. Little did I know those runners were training for the New York City Marathon. The City Marathon was my first goal race, but I wasn't ready yet, so I kept training and waiting until the following year. Finally, it was time. I flew to New York City and stayed with my friend Mark. On race day, we woke up bright and early and headed to the start. As we were waiting for the race to begin, I remember thinking to myself, wow, this is it. Years of training has led up to this moment. The starting gun went off and I started running. For the first couple of miles, I was doing well. Then I hit the dreaded wall. I remember thinking to myself, oh my God, I don't think I can do this. But then I looked around and saw all these people cheering me on. I thought to myself, you know what? I'm not gonna quit. So I started running again. About a mile later, I hit the wall again. But this time, it was worse. I thought to myself, oh my God, I need to sit down. But then I remembered why I was running in the first place. I was doing this for me, no one else. So I started running again. About a mile later, I finally finished the race. I remember thinking to myself, wow, I actually did it. Afterward, Mark and I celebrated with some pizza and beer. We went out later that night and I told all my friends that I ran the marathon. They were so proud of me. After that day, I continued running and eventually qualified for the Boston Marathon. But a few months before the race, something happened that changed everything. I got COVID day of the race. I was feeling horrible. I tried to do some light training, but it wasn't the same. Then it hit me. I remember thinking to myself, there's no way I'm running that marathon today. Fast forward to the present day. I have completed 8 marathons and 4 ultramarathons. I never imagined I would be able to do this when I first started running. So if you're feeling unmotivated right now, don't worry. You can get there too. And if you're already a runner, congratulations. You are part of a special group of people. Only 1% of the population runs a marathon. You should be proud of yourself. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like. Also, consider subscribing. I post weekly videos on running and mental health. Thank you for watching and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.